Hi, everybody. It's Matt from Discover College Soccer. I hope you're enjoying the podcast, whether that's on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I also wanted to let you know about the Discover College Soccer Study Table. This is our brand new online portal that is complete with a 14-part online course giving you all of the ins and outs of the college soccer recruiting process. There's also a wealth of resources such as checklists, templates. There's the spreadsheets that have every soccer program in the country, along with their coaches, their contact information, their social media information, some basic stats about the school, and more. Plus, there's an online community where you can ask your questions, share your wins, your losses, any questions that you may have around the college soccer recruiting process. It's all there at the Discover College Soccer study table that you can find at discovercollegesoccer.com/study table, and hopefully we will see you there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Discover College Soccer. Today, I'm lucky enough to be joined by Coach Bill Kelly from Elmira. Welcome, Coach.
Great to be here. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. So you guys are, up in New York. It's weird because I would say upstate, but you're really not. You're kind of down and overstate.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the Pennsylvania border. Yep, Finger Lakes region, beautiful
Yeah.
area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've driven through there several times. It's gorgeous. Well, let's talk about recruiting. I think you're getting ready to start your second season here, so you've gotten uh, one full loop, right, of the recruiting cycle. So, as a D3 program, you know, I mean, well, we're 2 weeks away from the famed June 15th date for all the D1 and D2 folks, but for D3, how do you kind of work your timing of recruiting? I mean, when do you start talking to which classes, and what's that all kind of look like for you?
Well, we've already started reaching out to 2025 grads. The 2024s, we're pretty deep into it already. This spring, for example, with the 24s, we've really been encouraging campus visits. We're asking our 24s to really come forward with a verbal commitment by September, earlier if they want to. For the ones that are our top recruits, we're ready for their commitment anytime they're ready to give it. But we're not going to pressure people. We want them to be comfortable with their decision, but there is sort of an end to the recruiting process, and we want to be wrapped up by Christmas time. So verbal commitment by September. Then just, they apply, they get accepted, that whole thing. And then if financial aid works out, right after Thanksgiving, before Christmas, right around Christmas, we're set and ready to go.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, in your, you know, recruiting, your outbound stuff, how much of it would you say is inbound versus outbound, if you know what I'm saying, in terms of, people reaching out to you versus you finding people in different ways?
Yeah, it's a great question. We do quite a bit of outreach ourselves. We're on NCSA. We go to the tournaments. We identify players. We're using a lot of different resources. We're casting a pretty wide net. And then in terms of inbound, a lot of players are connecting with us too. I get a dozen emails each week from various student athletes who are looking and just reaching out. So both, I think, but I think we're really going and really hitting the pavement and getting out there ourselves quite a bit.
So when you're at an event, is it, well, I got the last two questions here. First of all, when you're at an event, how much of it is looking at players who have already contacted you or you've already have a relationship with versus sitting down at a match and you're just hoping to see somebody good?
Yeah, well, I just got back from Needham, so I'll just use that as the example. When I went to Needham, I had a list of 24 players that had reached out to me who seemed like a pretty good fit. We'd identified them. In most cases, we'd seen video, which can be helpful. But we sat down to watch the matches, and we start noticing other players as well on the other team or on the same team even. So we'll reach out to those players and kind of get it done both ways.
Okay. Well, you mentioned Needham, but what what events are on your must hit list that you guys are at every year? Kind of what's your focus when it comes to events?
Oh, it changes year to year. Sometimes it depends on the budget too. But we love going out to Vegas in the third week of March. That is great because the weather's usually always really good, so we can count on the tournament actually happening. I mean, there have been times when we've tried to go to tournaments here on the East Coast and it's still been, inclement weather. So we go to Vegas. Love that. Been to Surf Cup out in California. Here in New York, Mad Dog has been great for us in June. We've even gone to the Nordic Cup up in Vermont. Been to Jeff Cup. Every year we'll just see, maybe we're getting more interest from players who are happening to go to those events, and we'll try to arrange it that way too.
Okay.
But Vegas we usually go to Vegas every year. That we get so many kids from all over the states showing up there.
Okay. Well, what about camps? Do you guys do ID camps? Do you or your staff work external camps? Do they fit into your recruiting process at all?
We haven't started them yet. This is my first year at Elmira, so we are in the process of doing that. But we're going to get some camps going. ID clinics, camps. We'll see how if we can get a multi-day camp going. But right now we're going to start with ID clinics. 1-day clinics, and those should be pretty good. So yeah, we're looking forward to starting those up.
Okay. Well, whether it's through camps, clinics, tournaments, inbound, outbound, whatever the case may be, what is it that you're looking for in a player, whether it's on the field stuff or off the field stuff? Kind of what's that hierarchy of things that you're looking for?
Yeah, well, I think most coaches start off with pure talent, of course, and we're all looking for really good players. I tell you, Matt, when I sit down at a game and watch, I'm just kind of waiting for the personalities to emerge from the game. I just like to see what the personality player is out there that catches my eye, and it could be a combination of things. I mean, some players are really fast, some are super technical. There's just different iterations of gifts that players offer out there. So I'm trying to see what that combination of gifts is that a player has. And so I'm not really, too picky about, oh, they've got to be this or this or this. Yeah, it'd be great if they were all athletic and all fast and all this, but I'm just looking to see what emerges. And if I see a combination of things that really I think would work for our program, then I'll contact that player. They may not be the fastest player out there, but boy, they're super technical. Or they may be super fast and their technical side isn't as great, but you know what? We can work with that. We can coach them up and work with them. And of course, if there are players who are, just really good in all categories, yeah, we're going to talk to them as well. But I look for personality players out there.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the school. I'm sure there's folks not familiar with Elmira, and especially if they're not from that mid-Atlantic region, haven't driven up through there. But you've been there a year now at the helm, so kind of give me, what have you found to be the really cool things, awesome things about the school that maybe someone wouldn't learn just by visiting the website?
Yeah, great question. It's Elmira is a gem. It really is a wonderful little school. We're not a huge school. Got just under 1,000 students now. We're working to build it up just like everywhere else in the country. Enrollment's always an issue for everybody, but it's a great community. I think that's the outstanding part about Elmira. Where the college community here is really tight, close knit. A lot of athletes here. I think 60% of our students on campus are recruited athletes. Which is phenomenal, and it creates this environment where there's a lot of mutual support among all the sports. The professors are awesome, small class sizes. The region that Elmira is in is beautiful, the Finger Lakes region. So we're surrounded by just a wonderful pastoral beauty everywhere, rivers, lakes. The Finger Lakes region is known for great wineries and great places to go, little small towns and things like that. So yeah, it's a wonderful region. It's a wonderful school. Just really excel at a few areas that have distinguished Elmira over the past decades. Education, we've produced a lot of teachers. Nursing is huge. 3 of my graduating seniors are nurses. Actually, it's interesting. They already have jobs. They're going to be working together at the same hospital, and they're going to be living together as they work at this hospital. So the team spirit continues into the real world. So that's kind of cool. But that's Elmira in a nutshell. Just community is really strong.
Okay. Well, you mentioned some of the academic programs, and being a student athlete can be tough in trying to balance those things. So how do your players really balance the rigors of being an athlete and the school side, and what kind of support systems does a school offer to really help them with that?
Well, that's a great question for me because I'm the support specialist here in the athletic department. I work with all the athletes who maybe need a little extra help with academics, whatever that is, to whatever degree. And so I have an office in the gym and I have another office in the library. And so I'm the support specialist who meets with athletes and we review things like, oh gosh, maybe it's their study strategies that need to change, or they need more study skills or time management. Even specifically, maybe it's, how's their note taking? Maybe we should look at the Cornell system of note taking, or SQ3R or something like that. So I'll sit down and talk with them about how they can get better at academics or what resources they need. I'll steer them to the writing center. Maybe they need a math tutor. Maybe they just need somebody to check in with and just get a sense of, this will help me be accountable. So I work with all the athletes here in the department, and of course with my own players. So we have a priority of academics coming first here at Elmira, and so that's a real thing for us. And the teams here have done really well. I think we've got 10 straight national awards for academics. They're plastered on my wall here, so I'm going to keep those going. So I offer a lot of support, but the college, the learning center over in the library is just awesome. The people there I've gotten to know really well are very supportive in just every capacity for academic excellence.
No, that's great. Well, as a parent, when daughter's thinking about schools, I always got to ask, okay, what's this going to cost me, right? So I'm not holding you at any hard numbers here, but just give me an overview of what uh, tuition looks like, what kind of grants, scholarships, financial aid is available. I mean, obviously with you guys being D3, no athletic money, so what can people expect since that might not be an option for them?
Yeah, with tuition and room and board and everything, it totals up to 51,000, and that's without any help at all. But the average package, I think the average, and this is just the average, I think the average is about 24, 25 is what people actually end up paying. That varies a lot. We've got some top level merit scholarships, up to 22,000, I think, is our top scholarship. And then from there, depending on what your grades are and how well you've done and distinguished yourself as a scholar, you're going to be rewarded with competitive merit aid here. So, yeah, the average package, I think, is around 24 is what it's going to cost.
Okay, well, that's not too bad. Well, take me either back or forward, whichever you prefer, but can you walk me through what a typical week might look like during the season in terms of winter classes, meals, training, kind of the game cadence, travel, what all that just looks like in an average week, even though I know there's no such thing?
Yeah, it does vary a little bit, but early in the season we're a little busier. We've got more games packed in. It's just better to get our non-conference games, and so we'll play 2 games a week to start off with. And so let's say, well, we'll just start off. We'll have a Saturday game, and then we'll recover, take Sundays off. Usually, I like to just give Sundays completely off. I think that works really well. Monday we'll have training. We usually go in the evenings. We've got a lighted grass field up at our complex, so that's it's nice to have so that we don't ever have any real conflicts with classes, or if we do, we can adjust our training time. So we'll go from 5 to 6:30 or later 7 to 8:30 sometimes. So we just arrange it. We'll train. Usually I like to get training done within 90 minutes. I don't think there's a whole lot of benefit to going past 90 minutes. Then we'll hit it pretty hard Monday, Tuesday. If we have a game Wednesday, that means Tuesday is going to be a little bit lighter. We'll just focus on some more tactical stuff. And then Wednesday, we'll have a game. Maybe it's a home game, so we'll play at 4 on our home pitch. We'll have a team meeting at 2, get ready for the game, play 4 to 6, get done. And then Thursday, we've just played a game, so we have to periodize a little bit and, get the effort, recovery continuum going the right way. So we'll take a little bit of, a breather there. We won't go as hard. We'll work on some things. We'll recover. Thursday, again, same thing. We can't go too hard because we have a game Friday or Saturday, depending on what our schedule is. And then, if the Saturday game, for example, or Friday game, even if that's an away game, we'll jump on a charter bus, pretty comfortable. Maybe we'll leave, 2, 3 in the afternoon, sometimes earlier if it's farther away, but a lot of our games are about 2 or 3 hours away. Some are like within an hour. But travel isn't too bad, but the buses help and kids can do homework on the buses. And then we start over again the next week.
All right. Well, let's talk more about the team and the soccer side of things a bit. So we talked about recruiting before, but is there a roster size that you're trying to hit every year that you feel is ideal?
Yeah, I like a roster around max 27, 28. I've had bigger rosters in the past, 30, 31. I think between 25 and 28 is a good number. And yeah, we try to hit that usually.
Okay. Well, in terms of your your staff, I mean, you're the head coach, but what other staff are there? What other support staff to really help the team throughout the season, throughout the year?
My assistant coach, Ashley, is phenomenal. She also trains our goalkeeper. She's got a goalkeeping background. So she's been really useful there. She's worked with a lot of top clubs in Indiana and Pennsylvania. So she's at the high school level. This is her first college job, but she's just been tremendous. In terms of other support staff, we've got athletic training, really top level people that work here with us, take care of our athletes really well. Yeah, so I think we offer a lot of support physically and in terms of coaching as well.
Okay. Well, how would you describe your style of coaching and overall the team style of play?
Hmm. My coaching approach is geared towards the transformational side of leadership. I think I really promote a growth mindset with my players. I like players who like to embrace challenges, who like to challenge themselves, who are open to feedback, and they'll stick with it when times are tough. That's really great. And I think the overall picture of our program can be presented in 3 main ways. And the first way is we look at ourselves as a program that promotes developing great human beings. That's number 1 for us. Number 2 is the academic piece. We want you to succeed as a scholar athlete here. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is the soccer piece. I mean, now all 3 of those are very important, but that's kind of the priority order that we utilize here. Yeah, so I think in terms of playing style, obviously everyone wants to lay possession. No one wants to give away the ball. That depends on how technical we are, and I always plan our playing model based on the personnel that we have here. So if we have a really great technical side, you know what, we're gonna try to play a real strong possession game. If not, then we're gonna maybe mix in some more direct play, balance it out. Just we're gonna go to our strengths and we're gonna cover our weaknesses. Let's put it that way. We've played different formations. Last year we played a 4-2-3-1. It worked out pretty well, but my favorite is a 2-striker system up top, either a 4-4-2 or 3-5-2. But whatever we need to do, we're going to do.
Okay. Well, obviously you and I are talking this beginning of June. School year for you guys, I'm sure, just wrapped up. And what did the non-traditional season or off season look like for you guys? What does the team do in the spring?
Yeah, well, we spent the winter hitting the weights pretty hard. That was the main thing. And then towards our non-traditional season, we got 5 weeks to get that done with 16 practice opportunities and a scrimmage day. So we started developing our cardio a little bit more as that approached. So a lot of strength training, but the team also played indoor soccer in a local league. That was great. They also played futsal in the gym. So 2-3 times a week they were playing soccer, either with a futsal or an actual soccer ball on an indoor surface, and then hitting the weights 3 times a week. Once our training schedule began for non-traditional, we were training 2 or 3 times a week, 5 to 7. And then we had a scrimmage day, went and had 2 scrimmages, 2 one-hour scrimmages, and that worked out really well. And now we're going to start our summer conditioning program. I hand out the packet, and we do a lot of aerobic intervals. That's what we're hitting now. We're toning down the lifting a little bit to only twice a week, and then really going for the cardio, and then the sprint training, agility training, and then come August, we want to be ready to go and fit to play.
Okay. Well, we've covered a lot of ground, talked about a lot of different things, but I want to get one last bit of info from you, a little piece of advice for the folks that are out there. If there was one nugget, something you wanted to share for parents, players, anybody interested in college soccer and this whole recruiting process, what would you want folks to know?
Well, I think it's really important to make sure that you are searching out a program that really fits what you're looking for, and maybe not succumbing to pressure from outside sources saying you should go here or you should go there. It really has to be a fit. You have to find the right community. You have to find the right coach, the right opportunity for yourself to do that. So that takes research. So I always tell prospective players to do their homework, to come visit campus, talk to the coaches, talk to the players. Make sure that you connect with the players, and make sure the coach offers opportunities. And the other thing I would say is, it's okay to ask a coach what your role on the team is going to be. I think that's, to get the feedback so that that there's a plan for you when you come in. I'm the type of coach that doesn't want to recruit a whole bunch of players in here to fight for a position and then end up cutting people in preseason. That's not okay for me. I'm looking for players that I have a plan for, that I want to see coming in and contributing, and having a plan to develop over a couple of years. But then also there's the academic piece. Does the major fit? Does the community fit? Do they feel like emotionally it's a great place for them to be and grow and embrace that growth mindset?
Awesome. Well, Coach, I really appreciate the time. Wish you the best of luck in this upcoming season. And if you ever get to any of the events down in Bradenton, give me a shout and we'll get together. All right.
Great. Thanks so much, Matt. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.